Welcome back, everybody, to the Divine Council podcast. This is your boy Monquay,
And this is Stefan.
and we're back with episode 57. Back at it again. Streaming now, on StreamYard.
For
Uh,
sure.
yeah. How's everything been for you, Stefan? Since we last streamed?
Well, last week we didn't stream because it was pretty much just like the holiday was coming up. So last week for me it was a short work week. We got done on Wednesday, and I had went home Wednesday for Thanksgiving, and it was just more of a more intimate Thanksgiving. It was just me, my mom, my dad, and my younger sister. So we just my mom, she cooked, she cooked a lot of food, and we just was there and enjoying that. And I just was like there like during the days, just out because originally I was gonna come back on Friday, but I had to get a part replaced on my truck, so I ended up staying until Sunday. And I got to go back actually tomorrow to get something else fixed on my truck. So, cause but yeah, so I was just back home, man. And I was just just around my fam, and just I was just binging shows. Well, I started binging this show with my sister. She said she probably gonna stop watching it, but it's this show called Riverdale. It's like a murder mystery type show on the CW. And honestly, I don't think I would even watch the show if I had came back like how I expected to come back. It was just something on Netflix, and I just started watching it. It's like one of those shows that's so bad but that is good at the same time. Like
Hmm.
it's very it's like the storylines they throw is just crazy, like plot twists and whatnot. But it's funny, like some of the writing on the show or whatever. But but yeah, man. Other than that, I've just been focusing on investing. I got my younger sister well, I'm starting her into investing, getting her into to crypto. I did when I was back home, and recently, like yesterday, I was looking at staking, and I've been on the Tron chain and getting into that and farming Yumi because it's very profitable right now. One Yumi is pretty much equal to like over 100 uh is over 100 USDT, which is a stable coin in cryptocurrency, which is worth over $100. So it's a lot of people that's getting in on it right now, and the prices have been going up. You know, one of the cryptos I've been investing in is VChain. VChain just announced their partnership with Walmart, so that's something big for them. They haven't it hasn't the prices haven't jumped up for them yet, but it's a long term project, on the that's on the rise, and I've just been going uh just deeper into that, just understanding, just trying to look for more passive income with it, because there's plenty of opportunities to get that in the crypto space. So recently, yeah, I was just doing that, and also before we got on, I was just looking at it's the year end rewind. Uh, some of this music streaming services like Spotify, Apple Music, they'll allow you to look and see what you listened to the most this year. And I want to put up what I listen. I just want to throw it up here real quick. What I was listening to, because it's crazy to think that it's already December, man. Like
Yeah.
this year is just like it's man. There's so much happening this year, dude. Like it's crazy to think like Kobe died this year. He died way back in February, bro. Like and it don't
A
even
lot of soldiers.
it's starting to get colder now, but I mean, it's just this year has just been weird, man. Just but yeah, I'm gonna put my I just wanted to put this up real quick. But how's everything been going on with you since the last time?
Man, it's been rough. In a sense of like just my transportation. I had issues with my transportation as well the last 2 weeks or so, a week and a half. Um, So basically, like both of my car, like my Mustang, it still drives, but I had some misfires. I didn't want to keep driving it to put some more wear on it or whatever. And the check engine light will pop off whenever the cylinders are misfire. So yeah, the Mustang, I had to take that to the shop today, and then I had my mom's car that I basically paid to get fixed to make sure that we can have transportation on the road, just in case either my car was messed up or something. I had to work on getting that situated, but the mechanic that I was, good business up until recently where he had got COVID the last couple of weeks or whatever. And it put me into a weird situation. If you ever had like your car locked up with a mechanic who was like actively working on it and then gets like gets COVID or whatever, like I didn't know what to fucking do. So basically, I got the runaround for a week, and basically, I got lucky last week with work. I had to basically use two call outs and get that situated. They thought I had COVID and everything, but nah, niggas here, niggas still healthy and strong and everything. Hopefully, everything still go well with my health or whatever. But I'm good. They thought I was sick or whatever, but nah. Basically, I got stuck at home with my car issue shit, and for the last week. It's just been kind of what I've been working with or whatever. I ain't been doing nothing like all last week. I was going to sleep early, or if I was not going to sleep early, I was up all night trying to either like figure out what was wrong with my car, and then I was waking up early trying to get the other car out of the shop, and it's been weird, man. Everything's been weird, but like you said, you brought up the cryptocurrency, and like honestly, a nigga in a good place. So the last week and a half is like even with it's like the shit popped off, and then I got a big wrench thrown in there, and it's like I had to really think on my feet.
Right.
And I think the big thing I had to work on is like my anger and like my emotions, and like because this shit is this one situation that could be simple for somebody. Like, man, it's been hectic for real, man. Like, and it kind of almost put a lot of shit in jeopardy. But like this whole time I didn't get upset or nothing like that. And shit just feel different for me. Everything feels different. Even my energy, like I'm
Right.
just doing I'm doing good things. So yeah, so I mean it's been rough in that aspect, but like I always been saying through just this situation, it could always be worse. It's people out here dying and getting sick, and
Yeah.
my situation ain't that bad because at the end of the day, it's great. And I just take everything as a lesson. I take everything as a lesson. Everything that I go through. Um,
That's what's up.
but I'm gonna get back at it tomorrow. I got to work tomorrow night. Get back to work, knock my days out, and hopefully I'll get my car out of the shop, whatever. Get that taken care of, and then keep working on what I usually work on, like just researching. I constantly research and just investing, man. It's like on a nonstop basis. I don't know about you, but like nonstop every day. Right before we even got on here, I mean, I'm just constantly on this cryptocurrency, and I've been on this shit this whole year. But like, man, it's just like that's just everything. That's what I check. I just check not just the crypto, just the investing, just assets, just checking. Just checking my trade view. Trade view is actually a really good app. I'll try to pull it up on the I'll try to screen share it later on. If I don't forget about it.
Right.
It's called TradeView, and it's free. You can look up cryptocurrency, oil, precious metals, stocks. You can look up the actual charts, and it's free, or you can pay for the trial. I got a free membership. I just constantly check that just to check the charts because I do know a little bit about the charts, not enough to necessarily teach, but like the thing about the charts is like a tool that you can like basically you get used to the patterns basically. You get used to how the patterns look, and it's hard to explain. So it's different, but it's the same for everything because all of us are manipulated, all of us controlled by the same entity, which is the Fed. But what I'm trying to say is like I'm just doing the same thing. I feel like it ain't nothing else to do. It ain't no really no more clubbing. I don't really even see that in the future. I was thinking, I've been thinking recently, about going out and how it used to be going out and shit, getting really, getting turned, getting lit with the homies, having a good time with everybody. And I started to realize like, nothing is going to be the same on every level. Period. But it's how you look at it. For me, it's going to be just another elevation, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great either way. But it's not going to be the same. You know what I mean? Like it's sad when you look at it, but it ain't going to be the same. Because when we come out the back end, a lot of us is going to come out of this motherfucking millionaires, billionaires. I mean, some shit that you know, this is some crazy times to be alive. It's what a time to really be alive, really. And then back into this, a lot of people gonna come out of this blessed more than anybody can imagine. A lot of people gonna come out, on the bad end, but this is the level playing field, I guess, is what they say. Because I notice there's a lot of young brothers and sisters. Um, and no, it's not even really an age thing. It's more like a group thing. It's like it's how you think type of thing. They get in on crypto, and not just the crypto, just just the investing period. Because all of it has its money making.
Right.
I prefer crypto and precious metals because
Right.
I understand the economy. But we can get into that later on, more later on in the podcast in the stream. We're more versatile now, so I guess the stream we get
Yeah.
more into that later on. For me, like I said, it's been rough, but my energy's still been high this whole time, and it's gonna stay high. It's gonna stay up there, and I'm gonna try to keep this wave. So yeah, that's how it's been for me.
Yeah. So I guess going back to what I was saying before, yeah, I was just looking at this this replay of I guess of what I've been listening to this year, and I felt like I wasn't listening to a lot of music this year. So it was telling me that I listened to like over 349 hours of music. And my favorite song is by this dude out of Detroit, this scam artist, TJX6. Yeah, that's one of my favorite artists. And I was just looking at this list and I was like, okay, yes, some of these songs they make sense for what I had. It's crazy to think like this I was gonna say like this Tootsie Slide song. We never really got to see how big this song could have been. Like you were mentioning the clubs, because the clubs have been out. I feel like this song would have been even more major than what it was. So going
Yeah.
down to like my favorite artists, it turns out I listened to 694 different artists this year. So
Wow.
I told you, man, like when it comes to music, LeBron said he's a hip hop historian. I might actually be a hip hop historian, or maybe not just a hip hop historian, just a music historian, because I just go to all different ventures. But turns out, I guess my favorite artist this year was Uzi. 21
Yeah.
hours of Uzi. My favorite albums, uh, Little Uzi Vert versus the World 2, and then Eternal Take. Damn, this shit said I played that shit 154 times. And I played Eternal Take 150 times. And then my third is Young Nudie. Young Nudie, a lot of people sleep on this dude, but I fuck with him heavy. 138 times, and then Pierre Bourne, and then you go from there. But man, I was just thinking like people were talking about like just in general with this year with like music, and I seen a tweet from Tory, and he was talking about this. He was like, yeah, a lot of people talking about, and I'm paraphrasing. He's like, a lot of people talking about cancel, but then they look on their rewind list, and I'm up there. So who did y'all cancel? You know, and then you see Megan. She had her album come out, and I mean, as far as I can see, it looked like it did solid numbers. But from what I've seen, a lot of people were saying that it was just an average album at the end of the day. And I was seeing some people saying Tori had the better album. I listened to her. She made a diss track to Tori over the Biggie "Who Shot You" beat. I
Mm.
listened to it. I thought it was all right. I ain't think it was anything incredible or nothing like that. But I listened to it and I was like, okay. And then her friend who I don't even think is her, or her ex friend who was in the vehicle with them, allegedly, she dropped a diss track and she's not even a rapper, like dissing on Megan. So I'm like, they still carrying this out from like mid fucking summer. And we keep hearing about rappers dying every week. Like there's this dude named Lil Yasi or Lil Yace or whatever. He was like 25. He just was killed like a couple days ago or like a day ago. He's from like the West. And now the FBI is posted on Twitter. This shit that the FBI posted on Twitter had me. I'm like, bro, like it's so much fuckery like going on, and it consumes like the hip hop is like the base around it, or just the culture in general, like because the FBI posted this. I'm like, FBI got a Twitter account, FBI New York. They posted this shit right here. Hold on. Casanova, who's connected who's connected to Tax Stone. Tax Stone is still awaiting trial because of the Troy Ave incident. I just actually watched the video with Tax Stone from behind the bars, like he was doing like a interview. Oh, and he was just talking about what he's been up to. I mean, what he's been doing since being locked up and stuff. In terms of like reading and stuff like that. But this dude was associated with Casanova, and come to find out, damn FBI New York up here tweeting talking about we still looking for him. If you got connections, call 1-800 call FBI. And I'm like, bro, what type of 22? What type of bullshit is this? You got the FBI up here tweeting, asking for help just from random people. Like niggas just going to just come out and say, yeah, I know where he at. There's a bunch of memes under this. Like you see that who, like, um, and then you go up to it. He's facing some serious charges, man. 18 members of the untouchable Gorilla Stone Nation gang charged with racketeering, murder, narcotics, firearms, and fraud offenses. The assistant district attorney, I think the attorney district, I don't know who that is, ADIC Sweeney said Gorilla Stone is actually not untouchable. And mind you, this is another one of the dudes at one point that was beefing with the mouse. He was beefing with 6ix9ine. Now he's going down. Oh, and the dude that he got to shoot at Chief Keef, Kuda B. He just got 4.5 years. Which I mean, looking at it, I'm like, damn, only 4.5 years, because a lot of those dudes that was connected to 6ix9ine was getting football numbers. So he only got like 4.5 years. But this dude was beefing with 6ix9ine at one point, and now all his dudes are gone, taken down, just like that. Major charge, racketeering, murder, narcotics, and they looking for him since he's supposed to be like I guess like the leader or whatnot. He's a up and
He has
coming.
the most notoriety or
Yeah,
biggest target.
since he's a rapper. And I'm just thinking like this entire year, it's this entire year, it just feels like rappers have been the biggest targets in terms of just like shit just going on in terms of pop culture. It seems like there's always something about a rapper that's going on, and here you go again with this shit. I'm just wondering, man. I'm like, what does this all lead to at the end of the day? Because we see the shootings, we see the deaths, we continue to see the charges. It's the same thing. It just keeps repeating. These rituals just keep taking place, and people just keep sitting back eating it up. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, there has to be something. There has to be a bigger play with this. And I know we talked about it before, but I'm just interested to see like will we continue to see stuff like this going into 2021? Because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it because I feel like people are tired of seeing it. People are tired of seeing these people like rappers being targeted or black entertainers being targeted in general. So what's it going to take for people to finally say enough is enough? Is it going to take for them to learn the code, to learn gematria? Is it going to take them not looking at mainstream news and going to third party outlets and actually doing research and not just reading headlines and running with it. Because going into 2021, Trump uh, seems like he's starting to accept that he lost the election. He's still fighting, but he's pretty much. I mean, he's already said, they're already starting the process of Biden taking over. Um, if there's one thing he's told us, and he's repeated multiple times, plenty of times, it's a lot of a lot of fake news that's just been out there. That's been a big thing this entire year. I feel like a lot of fake news has been going on, and it's just a lot of bullshit, a lot of fuckery. And it's like going into 2021, are people still going to continue to be misled by stuff like this and still feed into this? Because, we talk about, like investing and stuff, and it's like people are so focused on this, they're not focused on the real about what's about to happen, you know? Like how can we move forward from this? How can we move forward from seeing these headlines? Is what I ask.
Yeah, it's obviously interesting with where we're at in society, especially in the United States. Um, all I know is with the targeting of rappers and just quote unquote black entertainers in general. I think like it's leading up it's preparing it's rituals that's preparing the masses for something. It's basically a tax on us, but it's rituals or something on a higher, it's something deeper on a higher level. I think probably connected to the astrology, probably connected to something coming up or in play currently. Obviously, you can put hand in hand with what's going on with the changes in the sky. But even not even on even back down to earth, like with them targeting certain entertainers, it clearly keeps people's minds attached to it. Like it keeps people's energy attached to it, to what's going on in the headlines and to what's going on in the mainstream media and everything. And everything's connected. Facebook's connected. Oh, everything's connected. Everything is seeming like it's connected. At the end of the day, um, if you agree with that, it's your take on it. I don't agree with it on either end. I don't even care if it's not about winning or losing. I don't agree with everything being connected, especially with the technology, um, because that could just lead us down a bad path. It's not always going to be 2020. If we keep on the same path with this type of situation, shit can change and be very negative towards everybody come 2025, 2030. With this type of society that we have. But what I'm really interested to see now, is because it's weird with this election. It's like it feels like Trump is getting closer to conceding. He's still going to fight it all the way through. He's still not showing any energy at conceding, but it's like the energy that he had, that um his followers, he was at how he was trying, how he could galvanize his followers, and the spark that he was able to ignite in those who was opposing to the election. I mean, it just seems like it's not that it's died out. I mean, it's like, and I know for me, like I don't really give a fuck. Like I'm honestly like, it's like the economy and all that other shit. It just kind of just became more important. It's like we had the election, and then it's like as we get farther from the election, it becomes irrelevant. Even on both ends, it seems like it's becoming more irrelevant. And it's setting my mind up to feel like neither one of them are going to be president. Like I still feel like something is still on the horizon to end the year, because it's weird to me because it's like he's still president elect on one end and he's still not fully. It still feels like
That,
Biden is not fully accepting that he's
what
president,
I don't.
and
Well,
then.
I noticed one thing I see with Trump is that he's been kind of putting the breadcrumbs down that he concedes now, but he'll run again in 2024.
That's how. Yeah, I feel like that's what his hope is. Um, that's not out of the picture because I think he's going to be around. Um, but I don't know, man. I feel it's something really odd coming. I still feel it's something really odd coming, and it's connected with the economy. And I think it's going to affect all of us on a whole higher level. And I don't really, I got this uneasy feeling about just politics in general. I just feel like it's something with the presidency, and I feel like this Biden and Trump show is put in our face all the way to the end, all the way to the end, to the very end. Like
Let
you
me see if
know,
let me see if I can find this graphic of what people want Biden to do when he gets into office, because Biden has already said he's going to do a number of things. He just made history by announcing an all female communications team that's going to be with his administration, if he once he takes office, a all female communication team. But I want to see if I can find that picture. People was like, yeah, this is what Biden needs to do or whatever once he's inaugurated or whatnot. It might take me a while, take me some time to find it, the graphic. And I just wanted to talk to you about how many of these things seem realistic, because it was like 5 or 6 different things I saw. I was like, there's probably like a good, maybe one. The main one that I think about that could be a reality when you keep saying economy, I keep thinking about UBI. I think UBI is a possibility in the future.
that's a guarantee.
Um, I
Either
don't know.
way,
I don't know for how much it would be. I keep seeing the numbers around like 2,000, 3,000 um dollars a month, but that's one thing that people think Biden is going to put into effect. Um, but yeah, yeah, your thoughts on that UBI, because I know we've talked about that before.
well, universal basic income, that's just my signal that if you ain't been doing what you're supposed to been doing up until this point, then you're fucked, basically. We all are in the sense of when it comes to identity and security and our day-to-day lives. Because if we have something like universal basic income, that must mean that our economy is at a bad. I mean, it must mean at that point, probably at least initially, that our economy overall is at an unhealthy level. Because now the government or entity had to come and basically stimulate the people, the part of the economy that's supposed to already stimulate the economy, which is the people. Basically, if a normal economy goes, most people go to work. You have levels to it. You have people to go to work to stimulate the economy on a day-to-day basis, whatever, whatever. But when universal basic incomes, when they start talking about that, and it's most definitely it's definite, and we can bring up the digital dollar act that we discussed, previously, off air. You can screen share that after I discuss this about how already Congress already has a digital dollar wallet act in place to where each citizen is going to have a digital dollar wallet to fill it with a universal basic to fill it with dollars, which is going to basically be universal basic income. It's already um,
And
it's already
there's
been
already
in the,
the yeah, and there's already the stable coin, the USDC, which is a
and it's going
cryptocurrency.
crazy.
It's the same thing as an actual dollar. It's just digital. So that would be a way for them to introduce that to the mainstream.
Yeah, yeah. So they already got you, and on Coinbase and mostly Coinbase. I noticed, you get a much bigger percentage than you would in a savings account if you was to have convert your fiat to USDC. But it's a stable coin, and it's basically stable coins. You can have your own. We can have our own segment on stable coins. It's basically stable coins are a way for you to invest into cryptocurrencies by not basically taking the full hit of volatility because the stable coin is going to be pegged to like the US dollar. It's
It's
going to
like a
stay near
safe. It's pretty much like a safety net. Pretty. and
Yeah.
when you're investing in like cryptocurrency, it's like a think of it like a savings account. You could, instead of having a savings account, you could have this. You can have a stable coin account. You got a lot of money set there because there's really there's no volatility like on the USDC because it's the equivalent of an actual dollar. So everything else is going down. You invested a lot in Bitcoin and the numbers are going down. You lose money there, but you'll still have that money over there in the stable coin, and for backup.
Yep. 100%. But UBI, it's definitely coming, regardless on who is like, regardless on how like the presidency goes. It doesn't matter. Like it's still coming because that's one piece of the economy that's disconnected from our leader. Basically the economy is at such a bad level. It's basically over with if, depending on how you look at it. You could definitely say it's no coming back. So all only way that they can go is by changing the whole thing up. Is basically with digital currency. That's the only way that they can. That's the only way we can go. It's over with. Like the old system is over with. That doesn't mean that cash is gone. Cash will eventually be gone, but that doesn't mean it's going to fully disappear for right now. But just basically, 2020 brought a new thing. You about to see it flip. You about to see the shit flip on top of its head. It's going to be a wealth transfer, and it's going to be people that's going to go from you know being super rich to where if they didn't do their research, they're going to be normal after this shit. Or it's going to feel like they're normal because those who did research, who could have been hella poor before this, did their research and boom, didn't have to depend on the universal basic income. Because the universal basic income is going to be here, basically to force you to have to spend your money, and they're gonna tell you how to spend the money, where you can spend your money, what you can spend it on, how long you can hold your money. The sky's the limit. So basically, when I to summarize my feelings on UBI, I want to give everybody else. I want to give something for you to think about, and in the fact that if they have to give us universal basic income, okay, they somebody has to give money to the people. The first thing that we should be asking, how do you qualify to get the UBI? Are they going to give everybody that? Okay, boom. That's the first thing I'm thinking. The second thing I'm thinking, okay, if we're going to get universal basic, how are we going to get it? Okay, so how are we going to get this universal basic income? Because you all already know that the economy's fucked. They already having shit shut down, and they already talking about continuing to shut everything down. Biden is still talking about continuing to shut stuff down. So as long as stuff is shut down, it can't stay shut down based on the laws of economics. So you know that you're gonna have to give the people something. Even though we might be sitting at home, we can still shop online to stimulate the economy because we're the ones that stimulate the economy. So I'm thinking, who qualifies? How are we gonna get it? Um, the third one. So when would this happen? Like what? Because if we haven't gotten it before, if we haven't gotten something like a universal basic income before, and we're getting it now, I mean, clearly we see it's different times than it was, a couple of years ago, even last year. The thing is, whenever we know for a fact that we're going to the store or we know we have these digital wallets, like when is this going to really pop off? We know it's going to be next year. Basically, it's we know based off of the legislation. But I'm saying like actually when. So if it's going to be in January and we still got a couple days, this is December 1st or whatever. Um, when like really when is like when will my grandmother be able to use this digital wallet like like I can. Those are the big things that come to my mind when I hear universal basic income. I know if they're talking about giving us something, it's going to come at a price. The price is everything when it
What
comes to assets
what
is done.
wait, this I couldn't find the actual graphic, but pretty much this sums up what people are wanting Biden to do, which is, I mean, it's a lot, but yeah. So people obviously want another round of those relief checks. We got the 1,200, the one round of $1,200, and from the reports I've seen, Congress is deadlocked on it right now. So it's looking like it's not. I mean, it's still a Yeah, they still want to do it, but it's like going about it. How are they going to go about doing it? So next, what I'm talking about is it's this is pretty much what people want for Biden to do: a living wage, housing for all. So meaning like suspending rent payments, suspending mortgage payments, health care for all. Because I mean, people have been forever been talking about free health care. Cancel student debt. Biden is considering what we talked about before, considering canceling up to $50,000 worth of debt, free education for all, and then we talked about UBI. So since we've said that we both agree that UBI is something for the future for sure, um, what else do you see up here that is realistic?
Well, they definitely will have to cancel student debt. That's not coming back. Student debt is not going to come back. If student debt comes back, it's not going to come back the way it was before. Most definitely, because the bottom line is the millennials are here. Because it's still connected with this wealth transfer and taxes and IRS, like all that shit's connected. And but the biggest thing out of everything that most millennials, most people that are like in their mid 20s to mid 30s, who are basically going to be the new cream of the crop, who are basically working right now, who are basically about to we're about to be a new set of baby boomers ourselves when it comes to the generations below us. um the biggest thing that's hindering us is the student debt. And with them, see, you can't look at what they're doing. You can't look at what's going on as positives and negatives. You can't basically look at it as being glorious. You got to take your emotions out of it. You got to look at it logically. You got to like understand it, because it's people that never had student debt our age that this is not news to them. It doesn't matter to them. It's people that actually fucking grinded, that did have to pay. They paid their payments off and paid it off, and they're gonna get fucked by them canceling student debt. And
Yeah,
it's people that this may not happen. That we may still have to go back and continuing to pay debt. And it's people that have always been in debt. But what I'm trying to say is you got to get your emotions out of this. You got to understand that our economy, like this, the shit is fucked. And you got to understand that the biggest demographic behind the baby boomers, which eventually is going to be, the millennials. So the thing that's hindering us is the student debt. And student debt, what we're going to realize here in the next 10 years is once they relieve student debt on some level, I think that they're going to fully relieve student debt. I truly think that something's going to happen to where it's going to be some way that they're going to fully relieve it. Because I think even our whole lifetime, the last 20 years, student debt is the reason why we never seen the economy boom like how it's about to boom. Once they cancel student debt, it's going to be so much money in people's pockets, because it's going to be so much money in people's pockets that may heal the economy, in some sense. But you don't. It's how you look at it, because we have a debt based economy. But I truly feel like if they were to at least reform student debt, they don't have to fully relieve it,
I
because
believe they. Yeah, I believe they are going to reform it. I can see that.
they have to reform it. And I'm just saying the reason why I said take your emotions out of it is because I'm not saying this because we're going to basically benefit from it, because it's still going to be a cost for us. But I'm saying that they're gonna have to do this because of just how it works. This is how our society works. They they can't continue to depend on basically the lead. Like we're the ones who are going to go out here and buy the PS5, buy one, two, three, four, five PS5s. We're the ones out here that's going to buy a fucking flat screen PS5 before we eat. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. You're not going to do that. But you kind of get what I'm saying. Like everything is targeted towards millennials. Like when it comes to marketing and shit, everything is targeted towards us. So They can't depend on using advertising to just get our grandparents to go out and buy everything, but they can get their advertising depend on us to go out and buy damn near anything. I mean, that's just how we operate because we this is how we operate. We're the ones that's going to go out and get the new iPhone 12, iPhone 13 on a bigger scale than any other age group. Well, not in any other age group, just the age group that's in position that has the money because we're working.
Yeah.
Our little brothers, little sisters, the advertising is to kind of prime them up, to get caught in that net too. But like we're working now. We can work now, and we've been primed up all through our childhood to buy the new cell phone, to buy the new technology. So they have to cancel student debt because there's no way in hell you can have all your millennials still paying $600, $700 a month. Towards companies that aren't necessarily stimulating the economy. When they reform that, then you're going to start to really see, it's going to be able to help the economy in a good way. I think that's my opinion. So I think that's why I chose that one first. Cancel the student debt, and I want to say that my take is not necessarily fully cancel it, but it will be reformed in such a way that it's not going to be like it was before. I'm not even worried about them student loans. I'm not worried about that
Yeah,
shit.
I'm not. Yeah, it's not a
They're not going to get
it's not
paid.
a main focus on me because I know what I'm doing in the future is I'm gonna need to take on more debt regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's not my main focus. I mean, yeah, I get it. Some people, you know, are struggling to make payments and stuff like that. But even right now though, you shouldn't even have to make any payments because of what's going on. I mean, I haven't made payments in a while because of what's going on. But I do see it at a point. I can see it from both sides of people that are saying they had to work, you know, to pay off their debt. You know, it took them a long time, and just for people now coming out of school to just be able to get it paid off, just wiped away, is unfair. Which it is unfair, but also I've seen people say that, you know, they paid it off, but I wouldn't want that to happen to the next generation, that they would have to struggle like that to pay it off. So it makes sense, you know, to end it somewhere. But then again, we also got to think about the taxes that comes with this, with them just canceling it. I mean, somebody's gonna have to pay for that. I mean, I feel like that's gonna go back on our taxes that somehow they can try to find. I feel like they'll find a way to do that to increase the taxes to offset canceling the debt. But I do see it. I do see a reform happening with that for sure. Um, okay, so what else do you see on this list that makes?
So it's a couple that I feel like may not. It's no chance. But I'll guess I'll continue with the ones I feel like we can't that will be that are definitely going to happen. Um, so we already know off rip that student debt is going to be reformed. Um, so the healthcare for all is kind of an easy one because I mean, in the sense that's already in place. And it's already horse shit. You get penalized if you don't have insurance when you pay taxes. But it's a penalty that's so steep that you basically already have to get some type of plan. Um, so when you have a blanket statement like healthcare for all, I can definitely see healthcare for all being put in place, but in such a way that it's going to be crippling to us. We're not going to want healthcare for all.
Well, look,
Um,
I think that's important for you to talk about that since you work in the healthcare field. Can you talk about how expensive it is for to go to the hospital if you don't have insurance? Because I think some people don't understand how it costs a lot just to go to like the ER and shit. So
yeah, it definitely costs a lot. If you have insurance, I mean, it needs to be reformed from top to bottom. It's hard for me to speak on it because I'm not salary based. I'm still hourly, so we don't really get too deep into like the charging, but we I understand it. how we charge for EMS or ambulance visits, ambulance trips, trips to the ER, trips for the medication, charge for the medication and stuff like that. It's expensive. For me, it's easy to say that it needs to be reformed because, like I said, I'm not salary based. I'm hourly based. But my pay would still be affected. But at the end of the day, it's not necessarily about my pay. It's about what's best for everybody, including myself, because I could be a patient as well. Um, and one thing that definitely gets under my skin is just the cost for everything. Um, and just to get to just to ride an ambulance is going to be a couple hundred, regardless of what's wrong with you. And then, maybe more now, but it's going to be a couple hundred. Surgeries can cripple you, can bankrupt you. Um, and that's weird when everybody's supposed to have health care. So, like I said, this could be this will be one of those things where I feel like everybody will have health care, but it'll be at a loss of control as a citizen. It's something that can bankrupt you, or you can lose your house. This is shit that goes on right now. Um, what we need to be really asking is how are they going to do this in terms to how we live, because they can give us health care, give us UBI, but if we have to wait in bread lines, or if we can't, if we have to spend our money each month, or, if there's stipulations behind this shit, it's a problem. But I definitely can see healthcare for all. Like I said, my concern is like how it. I feel like that's a definite because Medicare and Medicaid, that money is not. They're gonna have to cut that off at some point. But at the same time, to keep us satisfied, they're gonna have to give it. They're gonna have to give us some type of. They're gonna have to give us something to make us not necessarily want to, revolt right away. And I think they're gonna change. They're gonna give us universal basic income connected to universal health care. And it may all be connected to taxes. But I, I don't know. I think it still depends on who the president is going to be. I do think in this aspect, it still depends on who the president is going to be because the figurehead is going to tell you how everything else is kind of is moving. That's the
Well,
only significance with them.
but I mean, with Biden, the way he talks and how he's moving again, like making that headline with the all female communications team. It's telling me that he's more so going on the liberal side of things, and he's already mentioned canceling student debt, so he's already got this in his mind set. So I'm thinking, yeah, relief checks. He's his biggest thing right now is COVID. COVID. We're gonna get rid of. We got COVID task force. We got a COVID task force. Working on the vaccines and stuff like that. So to me, it's already like it seems like he would be on this. He's on this mindset of doing this. But here's the thing, though. I'm thinking if he goes into the office and he says first thing we're gonna do universal basic income and we're gonna cancel student debt, and then he lays out how we're gonna do that. Now with the free healthcare, um, I feel like I'm like if he goes into office talking like that, what's the difference between him and somebody like a Bernie Sanders who was saying this same stuff not too long ago, but he wasn't able to get into he wasn't even able to get to the main campaign, to go against the president, So I'm thinking to myself, this is steep. This is a lot to ask for. The one thing I'm looking at though that I don't really personally, I just don't see it happening. I don't see housing for all.
No, because
I don't.
if Biden's going to be president, that's one of the ones I was like, no, because we're going to have open borders. And the problem with open borders is you're not going to be able to have housing for all. You can't because you're going to still have an economy. You're going to still have real estate. So that means you're going to still have your markets and stuff. How can you have housing for all when you have to when you have open borders and you have to choose between citizens and non-citizens. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's so somebody's going to be on the streets. Either so is he going to somebody's going to be on the streets. If you're going to have open borders, I just don't see how that can be done.
I don't see, yeah, it doesn't seem feasible to me based off of how you just look at the how the real estate market, like how the real estate industry is going. It's booming right now is a perfect time to buy houses right now. If you're looking into doing that, and I feel like there's always going to be people that are, like you said, that are out on the streets, and that's just a product of capitalism in itself.
Yeah, the whole
You
the
know,
whole the whole how the whole thing's structured.
right?
There's levels
So
to it.
there can always be a place for homeless people to go. Well, in terms of like shelters and stuff like that, and these the little houses projects, the people are trying little homes that people are trying to make, spread nationwide and stuff like that. There's stuff like
I'm
that.
doing that. I want to interject because I that's something I'm looking for. Like I'm looking towards doing actually. As long as I'm single, I mean I don't see like dude. Look into that shit. That shit is it's a wave. It's a wave. It's a wave. It
Yeah,
ain't just for homeless people. It's for everybody.
I've seen there was a video or something like, I think it was I watched on YouTube. This dude was saying he saved like over $60,000 in a year or something like that because he was living pretty much in a little home, or he was in a either it was a little home or he was in an RV. I think he was in an RV for the entire year, and he was talking about how much money he saved by just doing that. And he was like, "Dude, if I would have did this a couple of years ago, I would have saved so much money." But now looking at it, I'm doing it now. It just makes sense, especially if you're single, you don't have any kids, that's something definitely to look into. Um, but I really was thinking about the cancel student debt. I mean, education for all, I feel like that wraps right into that. If he was to cancel student debt, then I mean, free education just seems like the next logical step to me. Um, but I don't okay. She says, relief checks, which I do see another round of relief checks coming. Um, but a living wage. Now, I don't know exactly what she means by a living wage. Do you know what do you know what she's saying?
Yeah, I just not caught on. Basically, what I think she's trying to say is like minimum wage to be livable, but you, yeah,
Oh, okay, minimum wage, like raising minimum wage.
yeah. But I mean, like, okay, to raise minimum wage, that's gonna okay. Biden as president, that's most definitely gonna happen, and it's gonna happen on such a level that, oh man, that's most definitely. I mean, it's already happened as Trump into his president. It's actually on Trump, but it's gonna continue as Biden being president because he's gonna definitely raise. He is most definitely gonna raise minimum wage. That's not a good thing. Um, I'm going to say it's not a good thing with with just raising the minimum wage with the past economic system that we had. Because if he was just to raise a minimum wage, well, the reason why we were just to be able to raise a minimum wage in the past economic system is because that means we printed more money, which basically means that inflation is it's hyperinflation.
Right.
All that means is okay, you might be making 15, $16 an hour
Them
where
taxes though.
you was making $9, $10 an hour before, but that 16, $15 an hour now is the same as the $8, $9 an hour it was last year. The only thing that changed is that the Federal Reserve just printed more money. They just did more bullshit behind the scenes to steal more money from the people to inflate the currency. So if they're asking for a living wage, I think that is thinking about. It took me a second to catch on what that meant, but now that I've realized what that means, that is a most definite with student loan debt. And I'm gonna tell you that is with the living wage, you can actually look at it two different ways. The two different ways. The one way I look at it is the inflation aspect, but the second way I look at it is, the deflation aspect. And the deflation aspect, which basically means, the value of our money is more with less. Deflation is the opposite of inflation. The deflation I can see is still going to be a negative for us people, because the deflation will come from, the technology. Because say for example, stays shut down, and they're priming us up. They're supposedly building a 5G grid around us, and I don't know about you, but I actually just went out right before the podcast, right before the stream. I just bought some Google Plus AirPods.
Okay.
I bought some fucking AirPods, and for me, that's a big deal because I was like, I got earbuds or whatever, but I got the AirPods because I listen to a lot of I listen to a lot of podcasts and watch a lot of videos when I'm not on my phone and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, I was like, well, shit, if I'm buying AirPods, and I'm like looking at these commercials for the different technology that's still coming fucking out during the pandemic. I don't know about y'all, but like this shit is about to boom, regardless of what they do. People are going to go out and buy shit because of the technology that they're just unveiling on us on this level. I'm seeing some Amazon shades, some Alexa. They had an Alexa shades or something like that they're going to try to unveil. I think a week before Christmas, to try to have people to buy these shits. I didn't
Right.
look into it, but I seen it as a headline. I'm like, man, what the fuck? I started thinking like,
I
damn.
I
But
mean,
so
I was gonna say too, like what this technology is like everything is we live in today's time we live in like hype beast culture, right? Like so we see like even like fast food joints. This doesn't have to do with technology, but you see these fast food joints like McDonald's is getting these sponsorships with Travis Scott, J Balvin, these very popular music artists, and selling out. These burgers and meals are selling out, and you got kids stealing the posters off of McDonald's windows because they're such hype beasts, like they're fans, and they're going to resell that online on like Grilled or
and get
eBay,
paid.
get paid thousands for just a fucking poster or some shit. And think about it like that. If they're doing that with just a fucking burger or a poster off of a McDonald's window, look at how people were going crazy over the PS5 and the Xbox Series X because the shortage, because of COVID. Obviously, people are going nuts trying to get it, so they're increasing. I see like people paying like $800 just for the a fucking bundle of not just the PS5, but just like the games and extra accessories. Sony's eating, and then you see somebody like Travis Scott. Well, I got some stuff to say about Travis Scott because I'm looking at him. I keep seeing his face everywhere. He just made the cover of Forbes 30 under 30. They said he made like 100 mil this year. This dude was partnering with fucking everybody. Like literally, he's partnering with McDonald's, Sony. They said that he's about to get his own PlayStation, possibly his own PS5, and he's going to co-create his own game in the future or something like that. Like this dude is he's making a lot of moves, and a lot of people are calling him a sellout and stuff, which I was one of those people that's, I'm saying like, yeah, he's definitely a sellout. But I understand what he's doing as a businessman. It makes perfect sense because he understands his following is such hype beast. They would literally buy out his shit within seconds, just like Kanye with the Yeezys. Literally, you try to get those Yeezys when they say it's going to drop, you follow these sneaker accounts, them shits are gone just like that. And we live in a hype beast culture. So if you see people sweating over PS5s, just imagine Amazon puts out this cool ass fucking Amazon shades and shit, and you got fucking Travis Scott just posting it, just one picture on IG, like, y'all just got the new Amazon shades. Them shit's gonna sell out just like that. Like that, I mean, that's where we at right now. So
And like another thing, I mean, I don't want, I'm not just, just trying to showcase different technology or whatever, but I'm just going off of what I'm seeing. I was seeing like an Oculus Rift commercial. And I had people telling me about the Oculus Rift, like the VR headset that you can put on or whatever. I had people tell me like, last year about this shit, and I've been seeing commercials about Oculus technology, virtual reality shit, and I'm thinking like it's still connected back to the deflation. Because if they're giving us, PS5s, Oculus Rift, like all this technology is still connected back to the technology on industrial level. So that means you think McDonald's is not working with these different semiconductor chips and these different blockchain technologies to take their shit to the next level? Yes, McDonald's, all these companies,
Just, just
everybody's
wait
doing it.
for
Everybody's
all
doing it.
for all the bears out there. This crypto link. Well, stock investing lingo. For all the bears that talk shit about crypto. I mean, just wait until you see that headline: McDonald's or some fucking Chick-fil-A now you offers a crypto payment method. You can pay with Bitcoin. That shit is
You
gonna it's
I think
gonna
you can
like
already do it at Starbucks. I think you can already
oh
do it at
really?
Starbucks. I think Starbucks. So you been could buy a damn Starbucks with like Bitcoin. I think. I might be wrong. I might be wrong about that, but it's not like the mainstream. Like you're saying. Like if it was McDonald's, dog. Only people that eat McDonald's is literal drones. It's like literal. Like I like literal people that are going to pay attention to all the shit that is going to be thrown at them. And I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not saying I don't eat
No,
McDonald's. I eat McDonald's
I
too.
still eat McDonald's here and there, what I'm saying? I remember plenty of days I scraped up fucking pennies and dimes and nickels just to get a fucking dollar burger and shit, So they come through plenty of times, just like Taco Bell with their dollar menu, which I think they
I,
just changed it. But yeah, so I'm not gonna look down on McDonald's because I know where I come from, but now I try to avoid eating places like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean it's really designed for poor people. Like I mean, fast food in general. Well, not all fast food because there's some higher quality fast food. You look at fucking prices of like Zaxby's or something like that. That's not for poor people, but it's fast
yeah,
food. If you get what I'm saying. So yeah, like you said, they're gonna pay attention to all that shit. So McDonald's come out with an ad again. Travis Scott. All they need is just somebody like Travis Scott, like, oh shit, yeah, do a quick commercial. Damn, I'm about to get I'm about to get the Big Mac. Oh, the McRibs back. Ah shit, I ain't got no money on. And then all of a sudden the cashier like, oh yeah, Trav, you can just use crypto now.
yep,
What? And then all of a sudden, it just shows him just like using Bitcoin or some shit. Like, dude, that shit is gonna fucking explode. Like, I mean, and people don't understand it. People that are, talk crazy about hodlers and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm a hodler. You know what I mean? I'm not trading. I'm long term with the shit that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So it's like all you need is somebody like him that's tapped into this hype beast culture, and this shit is just gonna rock it. So
I don't want my words to get misinterpreted. What I'm trying 100% like what you just said, should clarify what I was trying to mean, what I was meaning. Basically, if it goes to McDonald's, it's 100% mainstream. Like if McDonald's is to be able to accept Bitcoin, that's 100% mainstream. Everybody eats something from McDonald's. Period. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're vegetarian, vegan. You would get a salad from that motherfucker.
yeah,
Even when I was 100% vegetarian, I would go to that bitch and chocolate the chocolate chip cookies and get the smoothies. So that's what I'm saying. Like, and I think that may be where it's gonna go. And if they was to use Travis Scott, I'm gonna tell you 100% how it would go. It'd be Instagram. He'd be at McDonald's and he'd use Bitcoin some way, somehow with this new method that is probably already out, but it's probably still new. And
yeah.
it'll go just like how you said, but it'll be like an Instagram video or some shit, like a story or something. And he'll be at McDonald's and do that type of shit. And then next thing you know, if that happens, nigga, you ain't gonna hear from me for at least a week. Cause
Dude,
I'm gonna be on an island somewhere.
nah, or just think about it too, like, just in pop culture, man, like because again, I don't think people understand. Like, you go on YouTube, you think these niggas are crazy that's on these crypto channels because they're trying to tell you that you need to be investing into this shit now because it's about to explode. Like literally, PayPal is fucking huge company. They just introduced crypto payment method. Do you not understand? PayPal is international. PayPal has a huge use case. People use PayPal all the fucking time to do online shopping. Um,
They get their checks sent to PayPal, direct deposit sent to PayPal card.
yeah.
Like I got family members that they put me on PayPal. They use PayPal like as their like main checking account. I like you gotta wrap that around. Like that
Now
shit is a big deal. Big
just
deal.
just wait till fucking Amazon. Wait till Amazon says, "Yeah, we accept crypto." Like I'm telling you, bro. Like I mean, I already can see this shit. I already see it. It's coming down the pipeline, and like, not just with like fast food, fucking everything. It slowly will tap into everything. You already got music artists with like fast food. Just wait till Travis be like, his next album, like, yeah, my next album, if you want like a special edition or some shit, like with like it comes with merch or whatever, like some hot, a special design, like the vinyl or whatever. Yeah, you gotta buy it with like crypto or some shit. Like, yeah, I mean, like something as simple as that.
I want to
Like,
add on to that. I want to add on to that because I want to get even more into detail. Since we already talking about it, let's get into detail about it. Fuck it. Decentralized finance, DeFi. That's that shit right there is gonna change the way we live. Ethereum and like the ERC20 like tokens.
yeah.
Decentralized finance is going to change the way we live because that's where you already have stuff where you can go on and buy paintings. You can buy art. You have something called Decentraland. Decentraland is out. It was just recently available on Coinbase where you can buy basically they have a token where you buy plots of land within this virtual reality world. So Decentraland is an app. You can go into this web page and go into the app where you have like it's a virtual reality like Sims, Grand Theft Auto, but it's all they already have a token that you can buy where you buy land within virtual reality off of this token. It's fucking you gotta understand where we're at. People gotta understand where we at. People gotta understand this shit. Like DeFi is about to make gaming. This is why you're seeing Oculus Rift commercial. You're seeing this PS5. I'm personally getting a gaming PC. I'm not getting a PS5. I'm gonna build me a gaming PC from top to bottom. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not doing the PS5 initially. I might eventually get into the PS5. I'm not saying I'm never gonna buy a PS5. All I'm saying is I'm gonna get a gaming PC, but on a bigger level. Everybody's getting into the gaming. Everybody's gonna have some type of gaming device. VR, Oculus, Switch, Nintendo, like everybody's and it's going to be connected with crypto because now you're going to be able to damn do 2K tournaments. Whereas where before you can go on 2K, you can go on 2K and 2K will screw you. You can go back and you can not necessarily. I don't want to say screw other people, but you'll be able to get cryptocurrency based off of maybe your win loss or your a game that you have with somebody or
Well,
like
I was
selling
going.
selling merch off of there or something. You
Maybe
know what I mean?
it's already subconscious. It's already planted into our minds subconsciously because what is something that people see all the time in these like mobile games and video games now? It's all of these fucking in-app purchases you got to do. These just like the video game, you want to modify your 2K player. You want the best, the coolest shoes and stuff. You got to buy VC, already introducing the idea of virtual currency. So hey, next 2K, instead of us, using our VC, to buy, I mean, yeah, you can use real money to buy VC, but also if you have digital currency, if you have crypto, you can use crypto to buy VC within the game. They're already introducing the idea to people now. So it's just going to be an easy transition into that.
But see, with the centralized finance and possibly with like smart contracts, and it can make it to where like me and you. So me and you, for example, you in your spot, I'm at my spot. We're not in the same location, but we can go into an app where we can have a fair wager on a bet. based on a smart contract with like some tokens or whatever that's backed by fiat, US dollars. Where we basically like, well, shit, fuck it, let's go and play this 2K game, or let's go and play this and that, and based on who wins, you can get paid on it.
Right.
And on a deeper level, I think like they already been doing that to us. They've already been laying that foundation, for us. But I think what decentralized finance would do, because that's a little bit different than just cryptocurrency in general. What the decentralized finance aspect of cryptocurrency would do, because it's decentralized. Nobody, like, these people are making these tokens. Some of these tokens do have a central, creator, but a lot of the code is created to where the token or the protocol in itself it can't be, it's no central point of failure. That's
Right.
when I say DeFi. That's what I mean. For everybody out there that don't understand what I mean when I say DeFi. So DeFi is going to add another layer to everything, to where it's basically for us. It's for us. It's for us. So either they're going to have to try to take it away. I don't think they can fully take it away, or they're going to have to embrace it. And I think they're going to embrace the centralized finance to such a level to where we're going to be able to do the shit that we love. And that's going to go back to the living wage, because I don't think a lot of people are going to need to have jobs. I don't think a lot of people are going to need to have jobs, because we want to be able to make money on more ways because of cryptocurrency. It's not just going to be you got to go to a job to make a 9 to 5, 40 hours a week. Now, my nigga, it ain't just oh, I hope I get to go on YouTube. I hope I be a YouTuber and I get paid. Because I'm YouTubing. No, it's going to be even easier than that for some people. You're going to be able to make money fucking playing video games, like actually making money playing video games, actually making money doing individual tasks in your city.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
this shit is gonna open up everything, dude.
Yeah, like I was
Everything.
saying earlier with staking. Like I'm doing staking. I'm staking Tron coin right now. And I'm farming Yumi right now. Farming is pretty much the same thing as mining, except I'm not the one that's actually doing the mining. I'm doing this. When I stake, I'm holding the asset, so I'm rewarded for holding that asset, which is Tron. So I mean, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of ways. Like I was looking up this dude yesterday. He said he was playing games online and he was earning crypto. He was gambling doing that and earning more crypto by doing that. And I just saw a fucking report earlier today. Fucking Little Yachty just said he's about to have his own coin, Yachty coin. I'm like, bro, like
Don't
this
buy that.
is. I'm like, yeah. I'm not gonna say to buy it,
Don't buy that.
but I'm saying
It's
like he's
crazy.
he's smart though. He's getting on it early. He already understands where it's going. So again, just to use Travis Scott, just see it down. I can see it down the line. Travis Scott gonna say, "Yeah, I got the LaFlame coin." So
Mhm.
you buy the LaFlame coin, and you can use this to buy merch from my website or some shit. I
I'm
mean,
what I'm thinking
I,
what's gonna really peel the top, that I think ain't people ain't really talking about, is Libra. Libra. It's a Libra token. It's a Zuckerberg Facebook token. And today, actually, I looked it up today. They're changing the name from Libra to Diem. 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 That shit right there is gonna be, that may be what people get the universal basic income in. Libra or Diem. They just changed it today and they made it called Diem. I looked it up, all the gematria and all that. I don't understand why they changed it to Diem. But I think Libra is gonna be that missing link. And you can't invest in it. You can't invest. You can't get it. It's private. So I'm thinking, it's what the fuck. It's gonna be the Libra shit.
yeah,
The Zuck bucks.
yeah. DM is supposed to offer instantaneous, low cost, highly secure transactions.
It's something with the DM, and because you got to think, most people's
Think about
data,
it. Carpe diem.
yo, and
Yeah,
most people's data is already on Facebook. So like they're onto something with this.
yeah,
They're onto
yeah. They
something with this shit.
yeah they already like you just said, they already got all the fucking data in the world, and they can send as many ads as they want to us. Just think when they I mean, literally, just think when instead of these ads for shit you just looked. Okay, yeah, you look up something on Google right now, then you go on Instagram and you see that ad for what you just looked up. Now you're starting to see these. You're gonna start seeing slowly but surely. You're gonna start seeing these crypto ads like DM, and people are like, "What is this?" And they look it up on Google. Then they're gonna start seeing it on Instagram. They're gonna start seeing it on all their social medias. So then they're probably gonna go to YouTube. They start seeing people saying to buy into this, buy into this. They start buying into it, and it's going to do. It's just going to shoot up the market. I mean, like all these coins, not just the main, like Bitcoin. The altcoins are more interesting to me personally. You know, Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin is big right now, and it's going to continue to go up because of the power that it has already. But I'm looking more so into the altcoins because it's fun seeing to me it's fun seeing which one is going to be the next one, like which one. And I think there's going to be more than just one, obviously, because this whole market is going to go up. So
Yep.
that's why it's important to diversify.
Yep. That's what's gonna get people's mind out of the stock market. That's what's gonna get the baby boomers mind out of the stock market is it's not gonna be Bitcoin. You know, you already talking about Bitcoin and talking about the cryptocurrencies in on MSNBC
Yeah,
on the mainstream media.
yeah, CEO's been talking about it recently.
Yeah.
I forgot which CEO it was. He was talking about Bitcoin. He also slipped in. He didn't want to say it. It seemed like he slipped in XRP too. Was another one that his company was looking. I think it was PayPal's CEO. I think I seen a video about it.
And believe it or not, you can't get XRP on PayPal. You can't even get XRP on PayPal. That's what was a big thing when PayPal. That was one of the big things when PayPal first I made cryptocurrency available. Is you can't buy XRP, and that you basically don't own your cryptocurrency on there. But you know, if you don't understand about cryptocurrency, then I'm not here. I'm not the one to tell you. I'm not the one to explain that to you. You know, to explain. The key, the private key situation to you. I'm
Shit.
not the one to do all that
I
because like
mean,
you either know or you don't at this point. It's how I'm looking at it.
yeah, man. If you don't get it, I mean it's on you. I mean, there's plenty of resources to look into it, and this is such a young market to begin with. It's really just been around for like a decade now, and it's really just been popping off the past 3 to 4 years. So this is something more exciting to me than just the stock market. But I think it is important to realize that you know as this grows, more of these items will appear on the stock market, like the S&P 500. But I mean, if you want one to look into right now that's about to appear on the S&P 500, Tesla is going to be on the S&P 500 by I think December 21st. So definitely look into that if you want something mainstream. You're going to get some value from that. I'm just going to throw that out there, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. That yeah, Tesla still has some growth. Yeah, they definitely do. But yeah, man, like just basically get your bags built up. Everybody out there that ain't got their bags built up, they got to get that shit built up because at the end of the day, it's dollars are going to go to the wayside. You know, within our lifetime. And the way they're going to go to the wayside is with this cryptocurrency, but the cryptocurrency is not necessarily a tool that's against us. It's a tool that's for us that they're going to try to use against us, but they can't ultimately use against us because at the end of the day, you have shit that's decentralized like Bitcoin and decentralized finance in general. Like, I look at this as the virus that is for the people, cryptocurrency. Yeah, it's not actual physical assets, but you're paying for utility. You're paying for the fact that you're sending something that you know can be sent within seconds.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
big deal. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. You got to be a millennial to think like to understand that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people is the thing with it is it's scary to them is because they don't understand it, because there's high volatility within it, you know, but also they also don't want to dabble with it because physical, they're always looking for the physical, which they are making more ways of getting it instantaneously, like through like a card and shit, like a debit card. I've been looking up different cards because I'm thinking about purchasing like a card so when I can just use my crypto when I want, and it'll instantaneously turn into fiat or the dollars. But also with that, you got to think about it. Coinbase, even though I use Coinbase, they got a card, Coinbase card that I was going to get, but then I was looking into it and I was like, they charge every time you make a purchase with that card. They're charging you Coinbase is. So think, and then I was looking in the comments and people were like, well, just think about what they'll do with the capital gains taxes. We don't know yet what they're going to do about. I mean, yeah, they already say if you make over $600 from crypto, you have to report it on your taxes. But think about what they're going to do down the line once this starts to blow up. So again, that's another. I mean, it's another reason why you should get on this early before shit goes. The government like, all right, y'all been making a lot of bread. Y'all gonna have to, you know what I mean? Like, So I'm telling y'all now to learn about it now and get on it now before it's too late. Because again, a lot of people think 2021 is really the beginning of another bull run, a long-term bull run, one that was bigger than 2017 for the entire market. So just look into it. But there was okay. So I was mentioning Travis Scott, and I just want to put this up here because I think it's interesting. He is, he's like the industry. He's the main puppet right now. You know what I'm saying? Like he's making a lot of bread. Like I mean, the motherfucker made the cover of Forbes magazine, 30 under 30. Hip hop superstar Travis Scott remixes corporate America. If he can make McDonald's cool, that's the ultimate sign he's made it. And going into it, I'm trying to see where they say he made over 100 million this year from just endorsements alone. All right, so this right here, Scott's shoes have quickly become grails, quest-worthy must-haves for sneakerheads on StockX, a site for reselling luxury clothes. Scott's kicks now outperform even Yeezys, albeit at a far smaller volume. A pair of Travis Scott Nikes there regularly move for 400% of retail compared to the 60% markup Yeezys typically fetch. Both cost around $200 a pair at retail. One afternoon, StockX had a listing for a bright blue pair of Travis Scott Air Jordan 4 retros for $10,000. Um, a purple pair,
Wow.
a purple pair carried a $22,500 price tag. So, and
Hold
this was him.
up.
He performed. He did a concert in Fortnite. That's an image of him in Fortnite. So
That's
yeah,
what the
that was actually.
fuck?
I thought that was actually really cool. You can go
Yeah,
on
man, that
YouTube
shit
and
is
look at the
dope.
video. You can go on YouTube and look at the video of him actually performing and people watching it in Fortnite. So this dude, it seems like they're setting him up to be the next billionaire.
Like
You know,
Kanye.
yeah, like Kanye. I mean, he's like Kanye's a son of Kanye's almost like in terms of music and shit. He's following in Kanye's footsteps. He got into the Kardashian family. You know what I'm saying? He got with Kylie. She's a billionaire technically. I think she's a billionaire, and he's on his way, well on his way. He's getting all these fucking endorsement deals. And yeah, he is a sellout to an extent because yeah, he's working with all these corporate companies. He's a puppet like most of these do. I mean, majority, if you get into this industry, you become a puppet at some point. You get to a certain level. But at the same time, I look at it and I'm like, you know what? I can't hate on his business acumen. Like, I mean, it seems like he knows what he's doing and he's tapped into this hype beast culture. Like literally, I'm about to show you something. You probably be like, this shit is insane. I see
I
him becoming
agree
a
with like
billionaire.
I think he will become a billionaire for sure. I can't hate on his business savvy at all. I don't really fuck with him at all.
There's only
Besides that,
five pairs of these shoes. Look at the buy price.
shit, he doing what he got to do. Hey, what I want to say, can you zoom in? Can you zoom your page in a little bit? Cause like
Uh,
on mine, I don't know if I gotta zoom mine in or if you need to zoom yours in. Cause I can like see the images, but like the text. Yeah, zoom it in a little bit more.
let me see if I can. Yeah,
All right, go down. All right, yeah, that's perfect right there.
yeah,
Cause that way when you highlight it, you can actually read it.
yeah. Okay, cool, cool. But yeah, yeah, I told you he just got that big. He just signed a contract with Sony, where he's gonna have his own custom PS5, and down the line, I think he's gonna co-design his own video game. So, and you see, there's only 5 pairs of these shoes. You had to enter a raffle that he randomly put up on his website, and you
Damn,
see the lowest asking price is 40 size 6, $200,000.
that's insane.
People are just putting crazy amounts of prices. I ain't never seen nothing like this. Even Kanye shit is not, it was never like this in my, from what I seen. So he's doing something right. He's tapped into the hype beast culture,
But
and
let me ask you this. No, I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish because I'm gonna because I agree. I agree with the business aspect, but at the same time, I feel like it's something else to it when it comes to the advertising. I feel like it's kind of oversaturated with like I feel like he's being pushed
oh yeah, yeah,
to where where like people are like I mean because I don't know I may sound like a hater. I may sound like an old head. I'm not an old head, but I just me personally I don't see what makes him any different when it comes to the numbers. Because obviously he has the numbers that elevate him above many people in the game right now.
right.
But when it comes to talent, I don't know what elevates him. Nothing elevates him in my eyes. But
I'll say,
I respect the business aspect because it's got to be something. It's got to be the business aspect.
I
That's
mean,
why I do respect the business aspect.
you can read this right when I'm highlighting it now. I zoomed in.
Zoom in, just a tad bit more, right there.
All
Yeah.
right, so look at this right here. The Houston rapper is on track to bring in more than $100 million in earnings this year, a source in his camp tells Forbes. He amassed his fortune thanks to creative corporate partnerships and branded merchandise, including lucrative deals with PlayStation. They said he's on track to make 20 million from his deal with PlayStation. Fortnite, which I was talking about, he performed in the Fortnite video game. General Mills, he had his own box of Travis Scott's Reese's Puffs earlier this year, and of course the McDonald's. He's 28. He covers the 30 under 30, earned at least 5 million from his endorsement deal from McDonald's, 15 million from the sales of his cactus his McDonald's merchandise with all these different types of like clothing and stuff with that. I told you he was gonna make 20 million estimate with his PlayStation partnership, 10 million from his Nike deal, and yeah, his shoes are now outperforming Kanye's, albeit he doesn't have nearly the volume that Kanye has with his Yeezys. He has a small sample, small size, but
What
yeah,
do that mean? Outperforming? Is that meaning like in price?
he's outperforming in terms of I guess like the revenue right now.
That's fucking crazy. That's
I
fucking
mean,
crazy.
you literally just saw that shoe
That's
46
crazy.
like $46,000, bro, for a fucking shoe. Like,
It don't matter if it's at a smaller volume, in my opinion. Because if damn, that means he tapped into another niche. You know what I'm saying? He tapped into another niche.
yeah.
Okay, he can make his shoes way more expensive than Kanye's at a
Now,
lower volume.
and we can and he also was doing 2K. He was in the 2K. I think this latest 2K. I think he was in that one or the one before it. But he's doing a bunch of these partnerships, right? He covers Forbes. And you just were saying you don't get how, okay, yeah, he's making these smart business moves, but in terms of music, what really separates him from the next artist? And to be honest with you, if you go look on YouTube, Twitter, because there's been think pieces about him. a lot of people don't even understand why he's so popular to begin with. You go look on Reddit, or KTT, shout out to KTT too, you know, they even look at it like a lot of people out there, like his new music is not that. I mean, I've been listening to Travis since I was a freshman in college. Like I was listening to him I was probably one of the first people that I knew that was listening to his music. That was like 8 years ago. And he blew up, over time. And I feel like his music over time became less creative and more formulaic. And we've talked about already, listen to his music. He doesn't have a lot to say in his music. It's more so the vibe of the music that I guess people really like the production behind it. But him, in terms of his lyrics, he's not really saying anything. His lyrics are drenched in auto tune, which a lot of rappers are. But you listen to somebody like Future, who you always uses auto tune, but Future has a lot of stuff he says too in his music. If you really listen to what he's saying, so I just think with Travis, man, he just figured out what people wanted. Well, what the hype beast wanted right now. They don't
That's what
want
it
to. They don't
seems.
want to think, and they want to look cool. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. They don't want to think and they want to look cool. So yeah, he tapped into that market. I seen a Tyler the Creator. He said in one of his songs, he fucking made $250,000 off of selling socks to white kids. Like
Damn.
so yeah, it's that
Yeah,
hype
you're
beast
right
market.
though. He tapped into the right demographic that he tapped into the right avenues. Is basically what that means. He tapped into hype beast culture. He tapped into the right avenues. He tapped into exactly what the culture wants, I guess.
Yeah,
Because the culture is not necessarily, we're in the culture. I'm still in the culture. I'm still in that culture, but I'm not. You know what I mean? Like I don't play Fortnite. I played it, but I don't play it religiously. Like I ain't
yeah,
got a PS5. Like,
right,
but I
right.
like. I might get one. I'm not against getting one. I just ain't got it. Like so, I'm still in
And,
the culture, but I'm
and
not in the culture. You know.
yeah, yeah. His demographic is pretty much. I feel like it's kids like under 18. That I mean the
Or
youth.
like like the college students now, like you know what I'm saying. Like if we
Yeah,
was in college now, we would be listening to Travis Scott instead of Tiger, because like they were when we first got there. That's what we was listening like Tiger and fucking Walker, like like 2012 shit. Like
yeah.
he,
A lot of the rappers that people say can't really rap that well is obviously the ones that people listen to at a younger age for the most part. In terms of partying, they listen to shit like Travis, Tiger, uh,
I mean, he's on a
or
higher level than them,
Post
just like
Malone.
from an entertainment level. Post Malone, Travis
Yeah,
Scott, they on the
yeah,
same level. But just like from an entertainment level, this is what where like his demographic is like less than 18, but like that damn young, the younger demographic. Like, I mean, I feel like I'm a little bit past that, but
yeah.
like I can relate to it. I fuck with
Yeah,
some of his music.
yeah, yeah. I like. Yeah, again, like I said, I've listened to his music for a long time. Recently, I haven't really listened to a lot of his recent output as much. Um, but that's not to say that I still don't look forward to what he's releasing because he comes from that Kanye background, and I'm a huge Kanye fan. So I'm always interested to see what he does in terms of like production and stuff. But and plus, I make music as well, so I'm an inspire. It influences me as well. But I get like we're like at that demographic we just left out of the 18 to 25 demographic, so we're starting to get to the demographic where we some of that young shit, we like it, but we kind of like our ears are tuned to something different now for the most part. If we're gonna listen to stuff for the most part, it's gotta have some meaning behind it, you know.
Yeah,
Um Even then, I mean, think about it. Think about why Pac is still relevant to this day. Like I'm looking on YouTube, I'm seeing fucking random fucking reactors. Like this white girl looks like she's like straight up preppy, come from like the hills or some shit, over here crying to Pac's fucking Brenda's got a baby and shit, crying to that shit. Like never heard of Pac, listen to Pac before. Literally broke down in tears listening to him Like this shit is. I mean, that nigga. I mean, that nigga knew what he was doing, bro. Like, Brenda's got a baby. What's the other one? What's the other one they love to play on Mother's Day?
Dear
Dear
Mama.
Mama. Yeah, she was crying listening to that because what he was saying, it's like he went on that lyrical miracles, spiritual, but he just literally coming through with that real hard hitting shit, and people was feeling it. You know, Travis, on the other hand, is on the he's like on the complete other side of that. Like his music, people feel it, but he's not really saying anything in his music. So
Yeah. But his production is godly though. I had to give him that. I fucks with Travis Scott production. I did.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, man. Yeah, I just had wanted to mention that because I thought it was interesting. Like I keep seeing him everywhere. I'm like, dude, like he's been everywhere this year. Another person I see everywhere is this rapper named Saweetie. She's like this upcoming female rapper, and I keep seeing her everywhere because she has sparked a conversation about a Birkin bag. And you know what? I think we could talk about this because I don't know if you heard about this, but there was a debate like a couple weeks ago where Sweetie, she was saying, I want to put the on I'm not gonna put the video up because, or I could put the video up. I don't know if I need to, but pretty much she was saying, you know, if the dude isn't buying you a Birkin bag, he's for the streets or some shit. Like, let me see if I can find that comment. That's Sweetie right there. Oh damn, I don't even have it. I don't even have it. This is Sweetie right here. Uh, she pretty much said, yeah, if he can't buy you a Birkin, you don't need him, sis. And she's dating Quavo. That's Quavo right there from Migos. And he just comes up to the camera and he's like, right when she says that, she leaves the camera and he just comes up like this and just walks off. And people are like, this nigga is such a fucking simp, like simp gang in this motherfucker. You know, nah, bro. Like he's such a simp. Like just people are like, is this bitch crazy? Like most people can't even afford a Birkin. To put this into perspective, let me show y'all how much a fucking Birkin costs. Birkin. So you want to buy a Birkin, right? You want to buy your lady a Birkin. Yeah, you can start off with a used one for fucking $23,000. And she's setting that precedent that yeah, if your man can't afford that, then leave him. You know? He's not, look at this, 77,000 for a bag, crocodile. 10,000, 20,000, 45,000 for these fucking bags. And I see a lot of women, were saying, a lot of women were like, those bags are ugly to begin with. And I seen a fucking
But they want him
article.
though. They want him
Yeah,
though.
but I mean, because people like her are pushing it to the masses. That if you don't got this, then you ain't got shit. And these bags cost more than some of their cars. Like
That's pushing house level 70, 80,000.
yeah, or more than a house. Like I seen her article. They said Drake collects these bags. I mean, it's an investment, because the value of them appreciates over time. But they said he keeps his for his future wife or some simp shit. But I just want to get your perspective on that with like women, again, with these high these high these high goals that they have. Like if you're with a woman long term, right, and she wants you to buy her something. See, for me, I'm on the mindset like you don't, if you with me, don't, I mean, you shouldn't even it shouldn't even come across your mind to be like, yeah, he's gonna get me this, he's gonna get me that. No, I'll get you something if I want to get you something. You got to bring value to the table. You got to add value to the table over time. You know what I'm saying? Something like this, nah. For me, I think it would be dope. The motherfucker bought like some fucking CDs, and I'm not talking about a music, like a certificate of deposit, stocks, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that. yeah, I'll give you some stock or some shit like not no fucking bag. I'll give you some stock. You know, a lot of niggas. I see niggas. I think I mentioned it before. A nigga was just throwing like 50 bands on his girl for her birthday and shit on IG. I'm like, bro, is these niggas retarded, bro? Like, I'm like, bro, like, what is wrong with these niggas, bro? I'm like, I don't understand this society that we live in.
They're
Women
not the
just like,
niggas really making money. They're not the niggas really making money.
yeah. I just wanted to to bring that up, man. I see this fuckery, and then I see niggas like Paul George or Playoff P. You know what I'm saying? Pandemic P. You know, he just got engaged. You know what I'm saying? He got engaged to the woman he tried to pay $1 million to abort his child originally. Then he knocked her up again, and now he just engaged to her. And just best believe 5 to 10 years when this nigga's career is over, best believe she taking half of every goddamn thing. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is wrong with these niggas? Like, I'm like, bro, like, I don't get it. I just don't. I mean, where did where did this level of simpery come from, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense to me, man. So yeah, I just wanted your perspective on this.
So when it comes to like the Birkin bag situation, it's like the way I look at that is two ways. It's all about who you talking to. As a man, it's all about who you talking to, and what I mean by that is like, I mean, I'm not say if I had the bag, I had the real bag, not just a couple mil, not just a record label deal, not just what it give me. I could put on Snapchat if I really had a couple mil, couple bill. First off, I'm gonna be fucking with females that ain't gonna really be really out there like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really, more than likely she gonna understand like if I'm making that type of money, I can get her Birkin bags. So I'm gonna get her Birkin bags. That don't mean I'm gonna just go broke getting her Birkin bags. That mean I'm gonna get her Birkin bags to my means. What I mean by that is like if you a nigga that you can't, you know, afford Birkin bags for your lady, then you need to get with a lady to understand that you can't afford Birkin bags for her. But you still need to, as a man, I still feel like you need to, still get her something that shows your value. So, if you got that goddamn bread, yeah, get her some Birkin bags. But that still goes the same for everybody. But that don't mean go broke doing it though. If you get what I mean. That don't mean go like I ain't gonna sit up here and like first off, she ain't gonna sit up here and say I need to get her a Birkin bag type shit like that Snapchat bullshit, whatever that Quavo had to do. Like that was some hoe shit. But I mean, if I had made a couple bill, and I was with a female, that was with me that clearly more than likely she ain't got a couple mil, because I'm the winner. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the one I'm the player. I'm the one that's got the bread type shit. And more than likely if she is, if she got that bag too, still, it's gonna be that mutual respect where I can do this. I can provide. I can provide an ends and means that shows my value. So I can understand. Like I can understand both perspectives. I can see why some females do that because it can show your value as a man. Let's be real. That can show your value as a man. Like let's be honest. Like that can show your value as a man. For me, as who I am, I understand there's still levels to wealth. There's still levels to wealth. Like and financially, you're not going to see a Zuckerberg. You're not going to see them. You're not going to see them type of people that's got a true bag.
Oh no,
So do that type of shit. And that's what I'm looking at. I ain't want to
like
be a Quavo. I already know I'm gonna be richer than Quavo here soon. Like I
that's
ain't worried about what he got and who
yeah,
he with.
yeah. Quavius. We not thinking the same, man. I guarantee you. Didn't I just show you a video of him on Icebox not too long ago? And he was just in that
Mm-hmm.
bitch buying nothing but diamonds, and you can look at the jeweler looking at this dude like, look at this dumbass nigga, like coming here again, just buying all these diamonds. Know damn well right when you get that shit, they're gonna
Knowing that money
they
loan
depreciate. Yeah,
and that money loan, that ain't even his
yeah.
shit.
And
He ain't,
I'm thinking to myself, man, like it's just ridiculous, man. and this the problem with how we are as a people. You know, people look up to these people, and it influences the culture in general. So when it comes down to where we at in terms of dating and stuff, women have these. A lot of women have these unrealistic expectations of what a man is supposed to do for them and what a man is supposed to give to them. You know, for me, over time, if I'm with a woman, you know what I mean, first, it's not gonna be someone that's materialistic like her. You know what I'm saying? I understand what she's, you know, that some women are like that. And some niggas like that. Some niggas like to trick off. I'm not that type of nigga. You know what I mean? I want a woman that doesn't expect me to get her shit. And but if I and I do because I love her just straight up, and you know, and she brings value, I'll get you. I might, you know, I can get you a Birkin bag. I'm the type of nigga that troll too, though. I might pull a 50 cent and buy you a bag from TJ Maxx and then get you a Birkin bag just to see if you had the same response. I just went, you know what I'm saying? Like, and not tell you that I got it from TJ Maxx. Just like, yeah, I got you a bag. You know what I'm saying? Like to see where your head's at. You know, I do. You know, that's where my mentality is, man. Not just throwing money just because. You know, rather that. I mean, I can see myself like in the future. You know, like fuck a bag, bitch. I just gave you like 5 Bitcoin. Like what,
Yeah,
what the fuck? Like I know it's not physical right now, but just wait in a couple of years and see how much you have then. Then you're gonna be thanking me. You gonna yeah, yeah. It's like I mean, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? That's where my mind. That's where my mind is at. A lot of niggas' minds is not right there. They, you know what I'm saying? Um, Also with like, I'm looking at like these dudes, these like higher level athletes or whatever, like a PG, like Paul George or whatever, marrying the chick. He was trying to get the baby away from, you know, trying to get her to abort the kid originally. Got knocked up again. Former stripper, clearly this nigga is getting engaged because it's cheaper to keep her. Let's keep it a fucking buck.
shit.
You know what I mean? When your career is over, just be expecting a divorce. Just be expecting another Scottie Pippen situation.
That's
His wife
exactly
been
what I
out here.
was thinking.
His wife been out here going crazy, and now your kids gonna be on social media seeing all this fuckery take place. I'm just looking like to myself, man. I'm like, you got these niggas got to be smarter, man. All these niggas, it seems like they going for the Kardashian types, and they getting played. What the fuck do you expect? I mean,
Yeah,
what do you expect at the end of the day, man? You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. It's crazy to see. Like the nigga that Scottie Pippen's wife that Scottie Pippen's wife is messing with now. I seen some on IG, his other side chick found out about it and she started posting the shit he was doing for her. This nigga was sipping like crazy in the text message. You know what, man? I gotta pull that shit up, man. I gotta pull that shit up, man, because I feel like it's the perfect time. You know, since we on this topic, this shit had me. Bro, I was laughing. I'm like, bro, like this nigga's just signed for like 60 mil. Like, why is he simping? Like, I don't understand this shit, bro. Like this nigga's like begging for pussy, damn near. Like it's crazy, man. Crazy the society we live in.
it's crazy as fuck.
Like I don't get it, man. I don't get why these niggas move like this. But it's going to take people. It's going to take the new elites and shit. The niggas like us when we get to the top and become public figures because well, you know what? I don't know if we'll become public figures, but just because of who we are, our backgrounds, more than likely, yeah, we will become public figures at some point because they love a nigga that got money. You know what I mean? Like you see that nigga on me in the Hellcat. I never heard this nigga in my life until you showed me him. Nigga rich as fuck. And what does he do? Make a YouTube showing all his riches. I'm like, bro, that's just gonna bring you all this negative attention, which is what it's done for the most part. It's just gonna bring you more stress and shit. It's like, why, bro? What's the point of? I know you got a lot of shit, and you probably want to show it off because people down counted it down. You know, they hated on you and shit. But it's like you got to resist that temptation to just put shit on social media.
Got to. I like the term pseudo anonymous. Pseudo anonymous. That's what I've been using. Like people know me, but I don't want them to know how what I got. I don't ever until I die. When I die, they can know exactly how much I got. That's my goal. I want to be that dude to where nobody they might have known I was rich, but they didn't know that I was like the rich motherfuckers walking type shit. I want them to know. They may know, but they would never really know. You can know that I'm a millionaire when I'm a billionaire type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a big
Yeah.
difference. That's how I look at that.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, this shit was on I seen this shit on the shade room or whatever, and the nigga was hold on, let me see. So this dude right here, Malik Beasley, is his name. He plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Nigga just signed a deal for like over 60 mil with that team, right? And this is apparently his other side chick before he was messing with Scottie Pippen's wife. And she got upset. So she just started putting on social media what he was saying about her. Let me see. Damn, let me see if I can find those fucking text. Cause I was up here, I was looking at that shit. I was like, bro, like, I'm like, why? I'm like, I don't get it. Like, why are you doing all this extra shit? Like, why? What's the point of even you got all this bread and you talking like this? So I'll
Zoom,
read.
zoom it in, zoom it in, zoom it in.
All right, hold on.
I think
Is that
zoom it.
is that
I
good?
don't, a little bit more. I don't know if it's different web pages. That's
Is that
perfect right there.
all right?
Now I can read like the text message.
So he's like, "What's good, mama? I need you. Hit me back when you see this. I know you seen this." So the niggas, he's already eager for her. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, like you a multimillionaire. Why are you coming at her like this? She like, what's up? Next screenshot. And this is the blue is her. It's just me. Do you want me to bring my friend? It's just one. And he's like, I mean, unless she ready, LL, nah. Cause you about to be with me. You need daddy. And then she's like, I want it now. And no, I'm not fucking her with you. Your mind's send me Uber or I'm going home. Sending it now. so, so
I
this,
mean,
I mean, that's slight. No, that's slight. That's nothing. But here's when stuff gets interesting. Okay, so this nigga is just fiending, like, and daddy fucking posted you. I'm crazy for you, and this is his side chick. This man got a wife and a kid, and this is his side chick. I'm crazy for you. Come out, waiting for you still. I'll meet you at the house, and then he mentions her name or whatever. She's like, call me. He's like, I did. Don't miss that flight, baby. And then she's like, I won't. But you didn't send the money for my mom either. So this nigga is not only paying for her, he's paying for her mom. And he's like, I'm sending that today. You going to make your flight? And then I guess she sent a nude picture or whatever. But then, yeah, he sent this long ass message talking about. He sent this long ass email talking about how he's sorry, he got a baby mama and he loves her and shit. But then he's like, but then he's saying right now we planting a seed and we gonna see where that goes. I don't know exactly, but I do know working at DTC for a reason to pay bills and do what you need to do. Yada yada yada. All right, so let me skip. He said, I wanna. He said, I wanna know your needs. I wanna talk late with you. I want to watch me play. I want you to watch me play. If you let me, I can take care of you monthly if you know what I mean. What I want is to smoke with you, be inside you, laugh with you, get crazy with you. I want to send I want to send you flowers. I want to help your daughter. If you need another phone to talk to me, I'll do that. Just whatever has to be done. And then he's like, I don't want to lose he don't want her to lose her daughter or him to lose his son. We just need to focus. We just focusing on me and you, but still desire our needs or whatever. And he's like, that's what I'm looking for. If you don't want to be involved, that's fine. But no, I care about you. You will forever have a secret admirer. And this is the young lady. And I'm thinking to myself, after looking at that stuff, I'm like, bro, why? I'm like, bro, you worth like what over 60 million, and you over here sending emails talking about something. I want you. I want to get crazy with you. I want to be inside you. Look, you want all your bills paid? You want a new phone? I do it for you. That bitch must have the best pussy ever or some shit. Or I don't know, bro. Because I'm just thinking to myself, like, what makes a nigga stoop to this level?
I think the bottom line is the fact that it doesn't matter how much money, how much success that you have. If you're a beta male, you're a beta male. That's an art. That's a talent that you either have or you don't. I think that's what we have to start to realize because that's what I'm thinking. I was thinking that initially, but when I start to think a little bit more, that's all it is. Just because a nigga's in the NBA or he got money or whatever, that don't mean he ever really understood how to interact with females.
Mm,
Simple. They don't mean anything. When it comes to interacting with females, it's deeper than it's deeper it's deeper than them just fucking. It's even deeper than just fucking. You know what I mean? Like it's deeper than that.
yeah,
So like at the end of the day, it don't matter how much bread you got, it don't matter your swagger, it don't even matter how other men look at you. Do you have it or do you not? And that's the game. You know what I mean? The game that's understanding, female nature. That's understanding females in general.
yeah.
And I think that's what I'm getting out of that. He just, he may have fucked before. He may have gotten more females, but it don't mean that. He didn't understand what he was getting out of that. He didn't understand how to not be vulnerable, how to not be manipulated, how to
I
not
mean, but
protect himself because he's on shade room. Like that's
yeah,
fucking embarrassing. But
I'm
this niggas out here fucking this niggas out here fucking females. You know what I mean? Doing what he doing
what
on the low and doing it right.
right. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, there's some niggas that like this shit. There's some niggas that fuck with the girl that sucked off 7 Phoenix Suns players. There's some niggas that love that bitch and they'll post her and they'll post her friend Selena Powell and shit. She get ran through by the entire industry. Some niggas just love that shit. I'm a simp for this bitch. I'm about to spend racks on her and shit. I'm like, bro, you ain't got no respect for yourself. Like it's like you literally just. I mean, I don't get it. I'll just be thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't understand it, bro. Like you literally, if you're gonna simp for a woman, why simp for somebody like that? Like, I mean, simp for like a fucking neurosurgeon or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it, bro. Like, I don't understand these dudes. But again, mixing with athletes, rappers, that entertainment business is such a small pool, and they don't want to bring in people that are regular or whatever. So they fucking with just the people that understand how the game works, you know, and yeah, man, it's like that nigga was talking like he ain't never had pussy before. Like I'm thinking to myself, did this nigga get girls before he made the NBA or some shit? Because he's talking like he's saying some shit like a fucking 14-year-old would say, or some shit So it's interesting. And then you see niggas like Steph Curry, how his wife be running his relationship, and niggas just be like, bro, like your girl wants so much attention, like it's obvious she looking elsewhere for other niggas, but she's with Curry because you know why? Because that nigga, he's a high value male. But Curry, I think Curry I think he took they got the red, the blue pill, and they got the purple pill, right? I think Curry took the purple pill at some point. It was like, you know what? Yeah, I know she is who she is, but she's a good mom. I got the bread, I'm the breadwinner. She's doing her thing. We're gonna make it work. And she can get out of line certain times. I'm not gonna check her, because I love her and I understand how it works at the end of the day. And I'll keep my side chicks here and there, and we will be good.
I
So
agree. He took that. He knows what's going on, but he just acting like it ain't there. It ain't happening.
yeah, but yeah, man. On that note, man, I don't have anything else that I wanted to talk about. Because I feel like we covered a lot. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about?
And I think we covered a lot. I think we covered a pretty good amount of information in this stream. So look forward to the next one.
For sure, for sure. Um, so yeah, as always, if you enjoyed this podcast, if you didn't enjoy it, let us know. You can reach us on Twitter at Podcast Divine. You can reach us on Instagram at Divine Counsel Podcast. You can reach us on SoundCloud, the Divine Counsel Podcast. Make sure to follow, like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Divine Counsel Podcast. You know, we're grinding with that. The podcast is available where streaming is available. Apple Music, well, no, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, any podcast app, we should be up there for the most part for like major ones, in general. And yeah, give us feedback on like if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave a review. That helps with visibility moving forward. A 5-star rating helps big time. So yeah, we're just gonna just keep grinding. 2020 is almost up, but
Hold up, one
we're
second.
all right. I'm about to go ahead and find my quote that I like to leave the listeners with. All right, so this quote is going to be about time passing. So let me see. Mm, hmm. I got my quote. Oh, well, damn. Let me go ahead and get this going. This quote, because Quay lost connection. But my quote for this podcast is from Robert Jordan, and the quote is: "As the wheel of time turns, places wear many names. Men wear many names, many faces, different faces, but always the same man. Yet no one knows the great pattern the wheel weaves, or even the pattern of an age. We can only watch and study and hope. Until next time, we're out. Peace."